Well, here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are live. I see something on the tube. Yep, we're live in full force. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. It is so good to talk to you guys again after what has been one of the longest 2 weeks ever. But hey, we're here. We are here for the WrestleMania London match card. It is too big for one night for the end of an era. That's the tagline we're going with, okay? So we're sticking with it. Um, let's get it going. I'm sharing it out for a bit, giving us a few minutes to get the chat going on. What's up, Pierre? How we doing in the chat tonight? A little late night stream. Normally don't do these, but hey, this is too big. I want this out tonight. I want y'all to see what's coming for the end of CTP WWE, the end of an era. Our probably, yeah, well, I'll say this: the final time you will be seeing 2K19 matches in the series. There will be a little bit 2K19 on the show, obviously 2K22 as well, all that fun stuff. But we're not here to talk about games. We're here to get into it, folks. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below. I am back. I'm feeling great. And I am here with my special guest. Well, technically he's my co-host, Mr. Expert Gaming. Say hello to people.
See, look at this. I mean, see, it's too big for one night. So that means, of course, the biggest of them all has to be here. The one and only. The man who single-handedly carries CTP commentary. The one and only. The negotiator himself. Me, Expert Gaming. It's great, isn't it?
No, you don't have to do all of that. Just trying to make it about yourself. That what you be doing on commentary too. No,
Of course.
you are here because you're doing your job. Okay, that's what you're doing.
My job. Okay.
It's the
Oh,
truth.
brother.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you're here. You're doing your job.
And you know what? I probably get paid more than you, Cole. All right, I'm a valuable talent. Okay, for my commentary.
You do not get paid
gigs.
more than me on commentary.
See, I was the hottest free agent
Get out of here
in commentary history before I time with CTP, Cole. All right, I was. Other companies were coming after me in commentary. Yes, I had.
Who was coming after you?
I had Impact Wrestling coming after me. I mean, come on now, Impact Wrestling. I had PWG. I mean, come on. Even I don't know if it was real or not. So some ECW thing trying to contact me. It was a whole bunch of stuff. But I settled on CTP because they're paying me the most. I mean, sadly, I've gotten stuck with you, but you know what? The money's worth it. The money's worth it.
You've got stuck with one of the best in the modern era. That's what you got stuck with. Come on.
Okay, well, I don't know about that. All right, well, fine. You can be one of the best because I am the best. Thank you.
Whatever. But he's here to join us live. This is gonna be great, and we're gonna start off with WrestleMania London Night 1. And we're going to get into our first match that we're going to be breaking down here on stream. Let's get it.
Yes, it is a big one because we're starting off with the SmackDown side of things for WrestleMania London Night 1, as it will be a 5-man ladder match. That's right, a 5-man ladder match kicking off WrestleMania. Well, at least a stream. And it will be for SmackDown's Heritage Championship, formerly the TV Championship, as the champion, Buddy Murphy from NXT, getting traded to SmackDown, will defend against Mr. All Day, Austin Theory, representing Seth Rollins' faction, Banish, we'll get into that later, the leader of Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Dominic Dijakovic, and Darby Allin. That's right, massive ladder match, kick off WrestleMania.
Indeed, one of the biggest matches on the night, for the WWE Heritage Championship, which would have replaced the television championship post No Mercy, and is currently being held by Mr. Buddy Murphy. And man, what a stacked match this is going to be. Expert, who do you think's going to win? I'm curious. Who do you think's going to walk out of London the final WWE Heritage Champion?
Ooh, I mean, if I had to take a guess, looking at probably five of the best in the world, let's be honest. You got Murphy, you got Theory, you got Escobar, you got Dijakovic, and you got Darby. Out of these five, you know what? I feel like it's finally time to bring some gold to Legado, and the leader himself is going to do that. So I'm going, my prediction, new Heritage Champion, Santos Escobar.
Wow. I think Santo Escobar has a great opportunity to win this championship, but I'm gonna say that he's been champion for this long. I'm gonna go Buddy Murphy. He's gonna retain. That's my prediction.
I mean, hey, he has beaten some of the very best on SmackDown. We'll get into that probably when, when we get around to the actual show. But, I mean, yeah, he's beat some of the best on SmackDown. So far, the only Heritage Champion in WWE history. Won the belt at Game Over. It's supposed to be the pay-per-view after No Mercy. In October. So, I mean, hey, I can see it. Buddy Murphy, since coming over to SmackDown from NXT, has been one of the best talents on SmackDown. So, it's possible. It's possible.
Indeed. Let me know in the live chat down below, who do you guys got winning the WWE Heritage Championship at WrestleMania London? You heard our two predictions. Let me hear yours. Now let's move on to our next matchup.
Ooh, now we're going over to the Raw side of things. This one is not for any type of championship. This one is all about a months-long story finally coming to an end on the grand stage of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, whatever you want to call it, all your buzzwords. As it is a women's match for Monday Night Raw, as it is a student versus teacher match, as Dakota Kai takes on her former mentor, also former rival, also current rival, the former Raw Women's Champion, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler.
Oh man, Shayna Baszler, what a season 7 she had going on before we got here. One of the most dominant Raw Women's Champions in the series. Very, very dominant. Nobody could stop her. And now she's here at the grandest stage of them all, trying to take down her student who's rising above her and trying to go up against her here tonight. And I'm gonna say, expert, I think that Dakota Kai is gonna pull off the biggest upset of this season. She's gonna win tonight. She's gonna win at WrestleMania. That's right. That's my prediction.
I mean, that would be massive for Dakota Kai and rise her stock in, I guess, WWE or AEW now after WrestleMania. This all started after Unforgiven, where Shayna Baszler lost the Raw Women's Championship to Toni Storm. We'll get to that later. And since then, Shayna Baszler, she went after Dakota Kai, who formerly at one point was a rival of hers, obviously, when Shayna Baszler was Raw Women's Champion. She took her away from Raquel Gonzalez, took her under her wing, and since then, Kai has been more vicious than ever. But it was Dakota Kai's former friend, Tegan Knox, coming over from NXT to Raw, snapping Dakota Kai out of this, I guess you could say, control of Shayna Baszler. And now with Tegan by her side, Dakota Kai has broken out of this, and she looks to take out Shayna Baszler once and for all and get the big victory at WrestleMania.
Indeed. It is going to be one hell of a match. Student versus teacher. One of the first we've had in CTP in years. So this is going to be very, very interesting.
Yes, it will. But moving on, once again, a non-title match. This now over on SmackDown once again. As this is a massive, actually, one of two big debuts, in-ring debuts on the WrestleMania card. And this one, it will be the debut of the cold-hearted, handsome devil, Hook, as he will take on in his in-ring debut the best in the world, the Second City Saint, the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk.
Oh my goodness, one of the most crazy WrestleMania matches. What a way to make your debut on the grandest stage of them all, the final WrestleMania in this era of CTP. Hook will face one of the best in the entire world. He says he is the best in the world. CM Punk. What a season that CM Punk has had. And expert will go over what he has been doing in the last few months leading up to this matchup. But man, if I had to pick anybody, I think that Hook is going to shock the world. Once again, I'm going with him. I think that Hook will shock the world and defeat CM Punk, but it will be a close one. It will be one of CM Punk's best matches of the season, but Hook will find a way to pull off the massive WrestleMania upset in his debut. What do you think, expert?
Well, I mean, hey, you never know. Hook. I mean, this is his first ever match. He's unpredictable. You have no idea what to expect from Hook. CM Punk, no idea what to expect. We have no idea what to expect from Hook. I haven't been able to get any footage of him training whatsoever, so I have no idea what he's looking like in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out at
I have no
WrestleMania.
clue.
But CM Punk, he's been dealing with the Mystery Attacker saga with Juice Robinson and Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles since you saw in the series when we left off before all the news broke and everything. Finally, CM Punk has around Royal Rumble time finally got out of the Mystery Attacker saga. Finally put that to an end, at least his part of it to an end. And since then, he was trying to go after the big gold belt, but he has ran into a brick wall, a cinder block, even if you will, in Hook. So far, he's not said a single word, but he has targeted CM Punk, and he looks to dismantle the best in the world at WrestleMania in his WWE in-ring debut.
Indeed. Do you want to reveal who the mystery attacker is, or do you want to wait till later on?
We'll get to that on night 2. We'll wait till the next night to get to that.
All right, for the one final time, chat, before you find out who was the mystery attacker, let me know in the chat right now down below, who do you think is the mystery attacker? Who caused this entire saga all the way up until the Royal Rumble? Let me know in the chat right now. But let's move on to our next matchup.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it was not Hook. Anyway, we're going back over to Raw. This one, we're finally back to championship matches. It is for the Intercontinental Championship, as it is a triple threat match. Challenger number 1, we've got the first ever WWE National Champion. We've got the Swiss Cyborg Cesaro taking on challenger number 2, the current Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Big E Langston. And finally, the reigning, defending Intercontinental Champion coming over from NXT to Raw in one of, if not the biggest trade of the season, the Intercontinental Champion, Samoa Joe.
Yes, you heard that right. Samoa Joe was traded to Monday Night Raw in one of the biggest trades of the season. You will find out who he was traded for, because his person that was traded for is on the NXT TakeOver London card, which you guys will be seeing a little bit later on uh in coming days. But Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Mr. Money in the Bank, Big E Langston. Expert will tell you how Big E Langston won the Money in the Bank in just a few minutes time. And Cesaro, who is not the national champion right now. Very, very interesting. Who is the national champion? You'll find out in a few minutes. Man, what a match this is going to be. Honestly, I can't even, if I had to predict, I can't even pick a winner right now. 3 legit, like, men that can just absolutely tear it up inside that ring. And this is going to be one of the greatest triple threats I've probably ever seen. This is the first time that all 3 of these men are in the ring at the same time with one another. Samoa Joe has never faced Big E. He has also never faced Cesaro in CTP. This is his first time meeting them in the ring in the series. This is going to be very, very good. If I had to pick someone to head out of here with the championship, I'm going to go with Cesaro. I feel like he's going to find a way and will his way to the Intercontinental Championship, a championship he has never won in CTP and in WWE. Now, expert, explain to us a little bit of backstory to how we got here.
Oh, actually, this is a very winding road of talking about the past for all three men to get here. Uh, Samoa Joe, well, let's start off for Samoa Joe, the Intercontinental Championship. At Unforgiven, Rusev actually defeated Jay White to win the Intercontinental Championship. And a couple weeks later on Raw, an irate Jay White, obviously not that thinking clearly, targeted Big E Langston. Big E, they went on to have a match for the briefcase at Halloween Havoc. Big E defeated Jay White clean, which led to, well, we'll get to what happened with Jay White later. So Big E currently owes Money in the Bank briefcase, so has not cashed it in yet. Cesaro also Unforgiven. Cesaro lost the National Championship to Swerve Strickland, thanks to Timothy Thatcher. He would go on to reunite the Kings of Wrestling with Chris Hero, who debuted on the Raw after Unforgiven. They went on to challenge Young Bucks for the Raw tag belts at Halloween Havoc. They came up short. They had a rematch the next night on Raw. They lost again, but the Hero turning on Cesaro. After finally getting rid of Chris Hero and all that out of his life, Cesaro has now set focus on the Intercontinental Championship and Samoa Joe. Big E now obviously getting involved. Samoa Joe is managed to defeat Rusev on the Raw after Winter is Coming, and debuting on Raw in an open challenge, choking out Rusev to become Intercontinental Champion, and he's held the title ever since, defeating the likes of Kevin Owens and Kyle O'Reilly to keep hold of the title. So that's how we got here to WrestleMania.
Indeed, and it was a downhill spiral for Jay White ever since Unforgiven. We will be talking about Jay White in a few minutes' time to see what he's doing at WrestleMania. But he lost the Money in the Bank, which is now with Big E. Now the question is, this is the last show of the season. Will Big E cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase tonight at WrestleMania? That's going to be a very, very interesting thing to think about as we go along throughout the entire night for WrestleMania London. Money in the Bank briefcase now in the hands of Big E. He's held it ever since he took it from Jay White. He teased it a little bit on SmackDown that he wanted to cash it in on the World Heavyweight Champion a couple times, but he never did. Will tonight at WrestleMania London be the night? Will he do it after winning the Intercontinental Championship? Will he do it after losing? We'll see. You never know.
Yeah, well, before we move on to the next match, I will say the winner of this match, I think, will be Big E. I think Big E could become the second man in CTP history to hold the IC title, and the briefcase, and the Money in the Bank briefcase at the same time. Of course, the first one to do that, to hold both those at the same time, was the man he beat for the briefcase, Jay White. So I think Big E, we could get a repeat, 2 in the same season. First Jay White, then Big E. That would be historic. And Big E's had a massive season. I mean, he has. He's beaten Finn Balor clean. We'll get to that later. He's beaten Roman Reigns clean. He's beaten Adam Cole clean. He's beaten basically all the top stars on Raw clean, except for not Karrion Kross, of course. So, I mean, Big E, could he continue the role into the end of the season and hold up the Money in the Bank briefcase in one hand and Intercontinental Championship in the other, and maybe even catch in the briefcase, that'd be tonight or night 2, and go on to be double champion. That would also be massive.
Yeah. Could you imagine? We have not had a double champion in the series since season 2. And that double champion was the best in the world, CM Punk. He was the Intercontinental Champion and WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He only held it both titles for about 2 weeks before he dropped the Intercontinental Championship. But he is the only World Champion and Intercontinental Champion at the same time. There's not been a man ever since to do that. Will Big E become the second man ever to do that? We'll find out at WrestleMania London.
Oh yeah, that would be huge. But moving on to the next match, sticking with the quote-unquote mid-card championships, if you will. Once again, we go from one meaty men match to another, because it is for SmackDown's European Championship. That's right, still the European Championship.
Yes, still the European Champion, so you know who's the champion.
Still the European Champion, the Ring General Walter, will defend his European Championship against the limitless Keith Lee, can Keith Lee, after all these months, finally put an end to the dominant reign of Walter and bring back the U.S. Championship at the very end of the season? What do you think, Cole?
Man, what a season Walter has had ever since he literally threw the United States Championship on the ground. He has went on a dominant streak, defeating the likes of Brock Lesnar. As you can tell, based on who he was going to be fighting at No Mercy, he retained his championship at No Mercy and just went through the likes of many, many stars. And now Keith Lee, who had his amazing rise, as you guys seen last few weeks, and he was victorious at No Mercy. He defeated Baron Corbin. And now he's here tonight trying to bring back the United States Championship, which has not been seen since the month of, I believe it was July. That's the last time we've seen the United States Championship in CTP. Now, will for the last night, WrestleMania London, the grandest stage of them all, can he defeat the ring general Walter? I'm gonna say he's not gonna do it. I thought that Walter was gonna lose months ago, but apparently I kept being wrong. So you know what? I'm gonna pick Walter this time because he has proved me wrong time and time again. Ever since Walter lost to Jay White over a year ago, he has went on one of the most dominant reigns I've ever seen. I've never seen someone take a loss so personally than what Walter has done. Has came to SmackDown, has not lost a single match, destroyed Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in one of the biggest matches of his career. His only loss in WWE has been against Jay White. He's the only man to have defeated Walter clean, one-on-one inside that ring. And that was now at this time over a year ago. It has been over a year since Walter has lost. Will he lose at WrestleMania in London? I just don't see it. I think that Walter's going to complete this streak. He's going to defeat Keith Lee, and the European Championship will stay, and we will never ever see an appearance of the United States Championship again here in CTP. That's my prediction.
I mean, hey, just take a look at this list. Just listen to the list of men Walter has beaten just coming to SmackDown. I mean, you got Cameron Grimes, you got Baron Corbin, you got Dijak, you got Seth Rollins, you got Brock Lesnar, you got AJ Styles. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of the men, the legends that Walter has beaten since coming to SmackDown. So you know what, Cole? For the first time in my entire life, I'm going to agree with you. Walter, walks out of WrestleMania, still European champion. Say goodbye to the U.S. title once and for all. Forever. It's gone. Done.
Forever. It's gone. I'm sorry, guys. We will not see the United States Championship again. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see Keith Lee getting the job done. I got the ring general knocking him out and holding, unfortunately, the European Championship up once again at WrestleMania. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our next matchup. Let me know.
Yes,
let me know who you guys think is going to win the chat.
I mean, yeah, this probably maybe one of the most unpredictable matches on the entire card for both nights. But moving on, we're going back over to Raw, as it is for the WWE National Championship. And this one, we go from big meaty men to maybe just two guys who will quite possibly just destroy each other in the ring, in the middle of the ring, just knock each other's faces off. As the reigning national champion, Ilya Dragunov, will defend his championship against the newest Paul Heyman guy, one of the main men in Paul Heyman's Dangerous Alliance, Chris Hero, formerly known to you, of course, as Cassius Ohno. This one's going to be massive.
Oh, man. Y'all know I have been a massive fan of Cassius Ohno ever since he debuted in CTP. I was always for him. And, you know, what a season that you guys were going to see with him. Obviously, we talked about with him and Cesaro being together and their run together. And now he's here. fighting for the national championship with Paul Heyman in his corner, which experts going to explain to you how did that come to fruition when he talks about this matchup. I'm gonna go with my man Chris Hero, aka Cassius Ohno. He's gonna get the job done, and he will be your new WWE National Champion, knocking off my boy.
You never know, Cole. It could happen. Let me run down for you. Obviously, as you all saw on the Raw after SummerSlam, Dragunov in his in-ring debut in WWE was in-ring Raw debut. He was attacked by Swerve Strickland, brain buster through the announcers table, and Dragunov, he was gone for months. Meanwhile, Swerve, he ran the National Championship division all the way up until the Royal Rumble when Dragunov finally returned and he defeated Swerve Strickland, ending his reign of terror. And since then, he's held on to the championship, even going up against the WWE champion in a losing effort at No Way Out. We'll get to who the WWE champion is later. Chris Hero, on the other hand, since turning on Cesaro on the Raw after Halloween Havoc, he's had some ups and downs. He took on Cesaro and Bobby Lashley, a triple threat match on Raw, and for a number of match for the WWE Championship. He lost on that one, got pinned actually by Cesaro, and since then, his ego's been off the charts since turning on Cesaro. Massive, maybe even bigger than Cole's, and he has aligned himself with Paul Heyman, who also has the likes of Bronson Reed and Timothy Thatcher and Steve Macklin, known to WWE fans as Steve Cutler, remember him from the Forgotten Sons. Alongside him, Bronson Reed isn't really too happy with Chris Hero being in the Dangerous Alliance, but for now he's cool with it. With Paul Heyman, give him the okay, give Chris Hero the okay to Bronson Reed. So we'll see. Will Dangerous Alliance play a factor in this match? Who knows? But either way, I'm going to go with, and still the national champion, Ilya Dragunov. I think he's going to knock Chris Hero's lights clean out.
Now you're picking against my guy. Like, one of the only things that out of the Dangerous Alliance, they're absolutely disgusting, and with their scummy ways, he's the brightest part of it, okay? I can't pick against my guy because I was always a fan of him. I felt so betrayed that he betrayed us and the CTP fans by joining the Dangerous Alliance. Like, why would he do that? He was fine without them, but even though I feel betrayed, I'm still going to go with Chris Hero. I'm sticking with my prediction, though.
Okay, interesting. We're going back over to SmackDown for the next one. This is, I believe, the first tag team match on the show, and it is a tag team turmoil for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Say that 5 times fast, Cole, please. As we have the champions, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. They defeated FTR after winning the best of 5 against the Lucha Bros, as they will defend their titles against the former champions FTR, the Lucha Bros, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, the North representing Seth Rollins' faction Banished, again, we'll get to that later, and Legado del Fantasma, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza, who's walking out of WrestleMania, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Cole.
Oh, man, what a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match again. And what a revitalization of the SmackDown Tag Team division. A lot of you guys have been stating that Monday Night Raw and NXT had the best tag team divisions in the series. But in the last few months, SmackDown has came to play with an incredible best of 5 that the Street Profits were able to finally get the victory. And now they're the tag team champions. And an incredible reign by FTR, the North, and Banished, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. I am going to go with who's going to win this. I got my guys, the Lucha Bros. They're going to take the tag team championships, and they're after coming up short at SummerSlam, after coming up short multiple times over the course of the season. Finally, I see the Lucha Bros winning the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and being the final SmackDown Tag Team Champions of CTP WWE. That's my prediction next.
Okay. Interesting. You know what? Looking at these incredible teams right in front of us here, Cole, I'm going to have to say the winners of this turmoil match and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, I think we're going to get 6-star FTR becoming three-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions, finally getting their belts back right where they belong.
Oh man, you and FTR, you all season long, you have been on their bandwagon ever since they came out of nowhere, which they had no business of, by the way. When they won the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, I was literally stunned. You know that you know that expert. They just ruined an incredible SummerSlam for me. I was not okay, but anyway, nonetheless, you have been on their bandwagon for the last few months, and I was so happy when they lost the championships. Y'all should have seen my face when they lost those tag team championships. It was the most beautiful thing ever. They will not walk out of London with the tag team championships. FTR does not have a good track record at WrestleMania. They have not won a single WrestleMania match. Will that streak be broken here at WrestleMania London? We'll find out.
All right, all right.
I
We
don't
need to
think
get
it's
into
gonna be
that.
broken.
We need to get into that. Okay, that's water under the bridge. All right, what happened with Sanity, Electric WrestleMania? The water under the bridge. All right, they didn't even get the ring. How's that their fault? They didn't get the ring. They lost the belts. They didn't even get the ring. Anyway, they were screwed at WrestleMania last year. Okay.
Hey! Look, we don't talk about those things, okay? Moving on.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now going back over to
Oh,
Raw, this is
uh
actually
huh.
a massive historic match. J&W, good thing you're here for this one because up next, it is, at least on Monday Night Raw anyway, the very first Monday Night Raw Chaos Reigns match. Because we've got unscripted violence. The purveyor of violence, Jon Moxley in one corner, and in the other representing the elite. The elite. And maybe
Oh
the biggest
God.
trade all season. From SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, it is Jon Moxley versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. First ever Monday Night Raw WWE Chaos Reigns match at WrestleMania.
And expert will explain to you the rules of the Chaos Reigns match whenever he explains how we got here to this Chaos Reigns match between AJ Styles and Jon Moxley. And yes, you heard him. One of the biggest trades of the season. And he broke my heart over the last few months. AJ Styles was traded to Monday Night Raw and later on joined the Elite, which expert will explain to you how exactly he joined the Elite in a few minutes time. But it was shocking. AJ Styles, what what a career this guy has had here in CTP. One of the most accomplished stars in series history is fighting Jon Moxley for the first time ever at WrestleMania. Also, one of the first times ever they're fighting here in the series at all. And and in a match that AJ Styles has never fought in before in his career, the same as Jon Moxley. These two men have seen the main event. They've been world champion. They've been at the top of CTP, and now they're fighting each other for the first time ever at WrestleMania London. It just does not get bigger than this. But you know, I can't believe I have to bet against him. Unfortunately, I just don't like the elite ways, okay? I really, really don't like it. Jon Moxley will win the first ever Chaos Reigns match at WrestleMania and one of the first ever Chaos Reigns matches in CTP. Moxley will beat AJ Styles. And
Oh,
that will
brother.
put AJ Styles' WrestleMania record to 4-2. That's my prediction.
Oh, brother. Anyway, first of all, before we get into how this came about, let me explain to you the rules for a Chaos Rage match. Taken from AOA and AOR, now ACW. Screw those guys, by the way. Boo, they suck. Anyway,
Oh, come on. They're our partners, okay? You can't say that on the.
I mean, after that Worst Collide show and what happened to Rapper Series, I don't know about partners.
Oh,
Anyway,
wait,
listen here.
I mean, we're better, of course, but I mean, like, you got to give them respect for letting us use their match. Come on.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I don't know if respect is a word in my vocabulary. Anyway, listen. The ring mat is gone. All wood. All you see is the wood, plywood. No, any type of cushion whatsoever for the wrestlers. The mat on the outside floor is gone. It's all it is concrete. But you win by pinfall, submission, or knockout. But to even think about getting a pinfall or submission, first you have to bust your opponent open. Then you are able to get a pinfall or submission. That is how barbaric and how sadistic and how vicious like a chaos reigns match is. Now, all right, listen here, Cole. So AJ Styles come over to Raw on the Raw after Survivor Series from SmackDown, maybe the biggest trade CTP history.
I was so
Immediately,
happy.
seemingly anyway, setting his sights on the WWE Championship. There's a fatal four-way. Winner is coming. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, and Cesaro for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles helping Finn Balor retain the WWE Championship, pinning Cesaro, and AJ Styles in the process, joining AJ Styles and the Young Bucks and the Elite. And since then, AJ Styles has been given one goal by Finn Balor. Of course, AJ Styles negotiating his Elite contract, able to bring in his good old buddies, the OC, Gallows and Anderson. And since then, they have been given one goal by Finn Balor, and that one goal is to finally rid the Elite of the Jon Moxley problem. And since then, they've tried every single feasible way, try to get rid of Jon Moxley, try to injure him, try to basically kill him on multiple occasions, but Jon Moxley will not stay down. He refuses to go away. So now he has challenged AJ Styles, maybe the most barbaric match in pro wrestling history, a Chaos Reigns match. And AJ Styles, I mean, he seems maybe a little too confident. I know he's AJ Styles and everything, Grand Slam champion, all that stuff. Maybe the best in CTP history, according to Cole. But I think coming into a match like this, with not really having as much experience in these type of matches as Jon Moxley, I think AJ might be a little too over his head coming into this match. Maybe a little too overconfident. However,
okay, go ahead.
With all the championships he has won, with all the men, all the legends he has put down, he ended the streak in CTP, for God's sakes, at this very event all those years ago. So I think he has a reason to be overconfident. He is phenomenal. He is the one that gets it done, the face that runs the place, all of that. So I think finally at WrestleMania, AJ Styles will be the man to win the first ever WrestleMania Chaos Reigns match, and last ever, I guess. And he will finally rid the Elite of the Jon Moxley problem once and for all, and finally put this sick, sadistic, lunatic of a man down for the 1, 2, 3 in the middle of that wood-platted ring, and win the first ever WrestleMania Chaos Reigns match. That's what I think, Cole.
Yes, you just took the words right out of my mouth as I was going to close before we get to our next match. He is the 1-23-1. I had to say it, okay? Yep, he's the only man to defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. The Undertaker has only lost one time at WrestleMania here in the series, and AJ Styles is the man to have beaten him. So arguably, AJ Styles has every right to be as cocky as he is, but I think that AJ Styles' WrestleMania luck is going to run out here because Jon Moxley is going to win this match. He's going to destroy AJ Styles in this Chaos Reigns match and put an end to the saga of the Elite versus Moxley. Now let's move on to our next matchup.
Well, sticking with the barbaric stipulations, going over to SmackDown now, our second women's match on night one, or last women's match on night one. It is going to be another first, as it is the first ever fight pit in WWE history, as this goes all the way back to SummerSlam. It is the returning Ronda Rousey taking on the woman who defeated her at SummerSlam in just 1 minute flat to take her women's championship away from her. It is formerly the Nightmare, now the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. This one is going to be something, Cole. I mean, this is going to be barbaric, to say the least.
Oh man, it will be Rhea Ripley. Oh God, you heard the name now. She, the last few months, expert will explain, of course. Well, she has been pretty much like going crazy, ever since she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship, to Bianca Belair at No Mercy. She did not win. Her championship was gone. She lost it. And after No Mercy, Rhea Ripley just went crazy. Rhea Ripley just like she was unrecognizable and just set her sights on the entire SmackDown women's division piece by piece. And now she says she's got arguably the biggest one left. She's trying to get rid of Ronda Rousey once and for all and said that she wanted a fight pit matchup at WrestleMania London. And now we are here. And I think that Rhea Ripley is going to complete her saga. She's going to manhandle Ronda Rousey. And I believe we won't see Ronda Rousey again after this matchup. That's my prediction.
Wow, that's massive. Okay. Well, I mean, Cole basically said it all for me. Rhea Ripley losing women's championship at No Mercy to Bianca Belair, taking some time off for a few months, coming back and lead up to the Royal Rumble immediately with a new look, new theme, all that new attitude, setting her sights back on Belair's women's championship. But also Becky Lynch was involved at the time, was led to a triple threat match at the Royal Rumble. Lynch, Belair, Ripley for the women's championship. Obviously, Rhea Ripley coming up short in that match. She's kept her sights locked on Bianca Belair up until Fastlane February, when Ronda Rousey returned for the first time since SummerSlam, and going right after the woman who took her out for all those months in Rhea Ripley. And now we're here tonight at WrestleMania Night 1, the Fight Pit, first ever Fight Pit, and it is these two women going at it. Honestly, Cole, I would say the Fight Pit probably, well, not probably, definitely gives the advantage to Ronda Rousey. I mean, these two women locked out of a solid steel cage, no pinfalls, no escaping. The only way to win is by either submission or knockout. I mean, that's Ronda Rousey's specialty, Cole, going back to to her UFC and cage fighting days. So I think Ripley, I mean, has she maybe gotten a little too overzealous coming into this Fight Pit?
I I mean, yeah, she has gotten a little too overzealous trying to complete the basically her reign of destruction. You know, she came back, fell short, not SmackDown Women's Champion. We'll tell you exactly who SmackDown Women's Champion and how that came about in a few minutes' time. Um, Now she's trying to rid the WWE of Ronda Rousey, who came back trying to get her revenge from SummerSlam after shockingly losing the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's the second time these women have fought. Part two, Rhea Ripley won the first match. Will Ronda Rousey even the score and win the second one? We'll find out. But this is Ronda Rousey element. But I just think that all this losing, all this not being successful, it gets in somebody's head. And I believe it will get into Rhea Ripley's head, and she will do whatever it takes to walk out of London with a victory.
You know what, Cole? Okay, you're going with Rhea Ripley? I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to give the edge here to Ronda Rousey. I mean, this is her element, and basically her match, going all the way back, 10 years now, back to her days in the UFC and just cage fighting in general. So I think Ronda Rousey, if she locks in that armbar on Ripley, this one is all over. Is instant tap out. But you know what? I feel like Rousey should go for the knockout to end Ripley once and for all, end this war, this rivalry these two have been having since before SummerSlam. So the winner of this one, in my opinion, will be Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
You have a good prediction. We will see what happens. Chat, who you guys think is going to win the Fight Pit match? But now it's time to go over our next matchup.
And now we are into, at least for this stream, the co-main event of Night 1 for WrestleMania London on the Raw side of things. This one is massive. Maybe for some a dream match, possibly. Will it be the last ride for the Phenom as the Undertaker goes one-on-one with the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns?
In a match that if The Undertaker loses, he must retire from CTP for good. So Undertaker must win. If he loses, he's done. This is gonna be one of the biggest matches of WrestleMania London Night 1. simply put, because of the stipulation. But not only that, it's the two men that are fighting. The head of the table, Roman Reigns, which expert will explain to you how he became the head of the table here in CTP in just a few minutes' time, versus The Undertaker, who has had problems with many over the last year, including we've seen with Apollo Crews, which you guys seen at SummerSlam how that ended, and we'll explain to you how Roman Reigns had became a problem in just a few minutes time. It's gonna be hard hitting. It's gonna be unpredictable because it can go either way. Will Undertaker maybe have a run in AEW or ROH or Rampage if he wins tonight? Or is this it? Is when WrestleMania London's over, is Undertaker going away with CTP WWE? That's the question that will be answered at WrestleMania London. And y'all know I always pull for him. I'm going with the Phenom, The Undertaker. I think that he still got a couple more left in him. He will find a way to defeat the head of the table, the man of the bloodline, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and still reign supreme in season 8 of CTP and potentially be fighting on AEW, Rampage, or ROH. That is my prediction. Expert, your turn. Let's get it going.
Well, Cole, we gotta go all the way back to Unforgiven for this one. It was Undertaker versus The Fiend. Obviously, Undertaker looking for revenge that would happen at SummerSlam. The Fiend costing a match against Apollo Crews. Undertaker got absolutely wiped out by The Fiend in The Fiend's in-ring WWE debut. Absolutely destroyed Undertaker. Took him out. Undertaker, it was announced about a month or so later that at Survivor Series, we're having his 30-year anniversary celebration. Undertaker came out at the very end of the show. It seemed like he was going to retire. But right before he could, that dastardly Roman Reigns came from the crowd, taking out The Undertaker with a massive spear, blooding him up in the middle of the ring to a chorus of boos. Unheard of, basically. Boos from the crowd. Blooding him up, taking him out on a stretcher. Undertaker, I mean, he was left helpless. He was left laying in the middle of the ring by Roman Reigns. Which, I mean, for months, the Undertaker, he was gone. He was done. That was it. Roman Reigns had gotten the Undertaker once and for all. Finally, after all these years, 30 years, he was finally gone. But at the Royal Rumble, the Bloodline was dominating the match until Undertaker's gong went off. He appeared, took out every single member of the Bloodline, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, and finally Roman Reigns took him out, disappeared into the darkness once again. And since then, The Undertaker has been playing his classic mind games on Roman and especially the Bloodline, tearing them apart piece by piece, especially Sikoa, who has been a thorn inside Roman Reigns, even leading to a match at no way out between Reigns and Sikoa, which Roman Reigns won. And Roman Reigns, he's going into this match all alone. No Rikishi, no Jimmy, no Jay, no Solo, one-on-one, Reigns versus Taker. If Taker loses, he is gone for good. So the question is, will this be the Phenom's last ride, or will the Reaper send the Tribal Chief straight to hell?
That is the question that has been on my mind ever since this match was announced. Can Roman Reigns finally finish it? We've had this question with The Undertaker here in CTP for years. After AJ Styles was the one to defeat the streak, we thought that The Undertaker was going to go away. But no, he kept on pressing on. He won the WWE Championship. He held the WWE Championship for over 8 months in season 4. He had the glory, and he kept on pressing on. Defeated Shawn Michaels. He defeated Sting at WrestleMania. Kept getting WrestleMania wins, still going on. And I honestly thought that Survivor Series was going to be the end. It's 30 years. He's done everything he can do. It was his anniversary. Perfect time. But Roman Reigns just had to stick his nose where it didn't belong. And now we are here asking the question once again, is this the time for Undertaker to go? And I keep saying it, Undertaker's not going to go laying down. He is going to go down with a fight and he will win. And I think that we're going to see him next season. That's my prediction. Again, I'm sticking by my prediction. But the Roman Reigns, the head of the table, he's had his problems last few months with his members. He solved them. He's here alone. We've seen what Roman Reigns can do at WrestleMania over the last few years. He is destructive at the grandest stage of them all. But now, with the end of an era, will this be the end of The Undertaker? That's the question that we have to find out. And it seems that the chat, y'all are saying that Roman Reigns is about to send them packing. We'll see.
Well, see, you know what? I knew at least a couple of these fans would have some good tastes because I agree. I think this is finally it. I think it's finally time for this old, washed up, has been of a man to finally walk off into the
Excuse
sunset.
you?
And by the
Oh, hold on.
sunset,
Excuse you. Old washed up has been. You're talking to the dead man, the phenom. Big
I know
evil,
who I'm talking
goddammit.
to. I know who I'm talking to. And look what happened. SummerSlam, beat by Apollo
This is
Crews.
freaking big evil, damn it.
Unforgiven, beaten by the Fiend, destroyed by the Fiend. Actually, Survivor Series, destroyed by
Get
Roman
out of here.
Reigns.
Get
I
out
mean,
of
come
here.
on.
No, he shouldn't have lost at SummerSlam. First of all, he got screwed at SummerSlam. Undertaker was about to defeat Apollo Crews. You know it. All these people in this chat know it. That was going to happen. And secondly, the Fiend, yes, the Fiend did beat him. I get that. I get it. I can't defend that one. But this is the dead man we're talking about. And you are calling him a has-been? He has not been a has-been. Every time that the Undertaker stepped foot inside that ring, he out wrestles every single person that he's with in the ring with. Okay? You know it. I know it. These people know it. Do not disrespect one of the legends of this business. And he will show you old school when he defeats Roman Reigns. That's lit a fire under me. I cannot believe you said that, expert.
Okay, you know what? Listen. Okay, if we actually do get the Phenom, the Reaper, the man who is 23-1 at WrestleMania, then you know what? I'll think about it. But if we just get what
Think about it.
the biker, what Big Evil, quote unquote, we get Mark at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is gonna eat this old man alive, and he is gonna send him packing straight to wherever Paul Bear is. Okay, that's what he's gonna do. So
No,
you better
We're
hope and pray for your sake that we actually get the real Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because
The real
if we get Mark
Undertaker will show
Calloway,
up.
if we get
I
Mark
promise
Calloway,
you.
father of what 5? If we get Mark Calloway at WrestleMania, this one is all she wrote from before the bell even rings. Roman Reigns on a completely different level to everybody else not named Karrion Kross. Okay, he is in God mode right now. Nobody has been able to touch Roman Reigns in one-on-one competition in months since all the way back at SummerSlam against Shelton Benjamin. All right, no, this is not the big dog. This is the tribal chief. This is the head of the table. This is the one who stands above the rest. This is the one. And he will prove that to you and to everybody else at WrestleMania when he finally sends Undertaker into the sunset. Once and for all. For the last time.
The Phenom will show up his last ride, and he will show you and this chat that don't believe in him what he's all about. Y'all just seem to forget that this guy was undefeated at WrestleMania before one of the greatest superstars of this generation, or maybe ever, AJ Styles, was the one in 23-1. But Roman Reigns is not AJ Styles. He's not gonna do what AJ Styles did at WrestleMania, and I believe that. Now, next match.
Oh my God, using the man's old catchphrases against him? Alright, Cole, I see how it is. Anyway,
yes, I
now,
did.
On to the penultimate match of night 1 of WrestleMania, going back over to SmackDown. We have maybe a genuine dream match. This one is all about respect, unlike the last match we talked about. As it is the King of Strong Style coming over from Raw to SmackDown, back over to SmackDown. It is the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, taking on the Rated R superstar, the ultimate opportunist, the Hall of Famer, Edge.
Yes, indeed. The King of Strong Style. That was the trade, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Styles was traded for Shinsuke Nakamura as he went to Friday Night SmackDown. And what a season that Nakamura has had on SmackDown. Expert will explain to you how this one got to play. This is going to be absolutely incredible. Edge's first WrestleMania in over 2 years here in CTP. This is going to be One hell of a fight, taking on one of my favorite world champions in CTP. What a reign that Shinsuke Nakamura had as the world heavyweight champion a few seasons ago. It seems that Shinsuke Nakamura is back, the king of strong style, a man that you don't want to get inside the ring with. But Edge, he's been in killer mode all season long, ever since his return after his career-ending neck injury. He has had his sights on the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, you guys seen at No Mercy, he came up short. But now here at WrestleMania, for the first time in years, against Shinsuke Nakamura, I think that Nakamura will put down the radar superstar and formally tell you that the King of Strong Style is back heading into season 8. That's my prediction.
I mean, both these two, they've had very up and down seasons so far, Cole. I mean, of course, Nakamura starting off on SmackDown, not really getting a whole momentum going on SmackDown at first, so went over to Monday Night Raw, had a feud against Matt Riddle in Undisputed Era, come forward in an Undisputed Era feud, so went back over to SmackDown, tried to rekindle his career, set sights immediately on the big gold belt, for to win that one. Edge as well, been up and down since coming back at SummerSlam, with obviously likes of Ricochet, Seth Rollins getting involved in his business. I mean, both these men at first left off the WrestleMania card entirely until on SmackDown, Edge issued the challenge to anyone in the locker room to fight him at WrestleMania, and out came the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Nakamura immediately accepting the challenge of Edge. So now this one, it's all about respect. I mean, these two fan favorites, they respect each other, they love each other as competitors. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they're inside the ring, though, because, I mean, you respect each other as outside the ring, but inside the ring is a whole different story. When that bell rings, it's all games are off, basically. So the question is, will we see the old Edge that would do whatever it takes to win, to get his first WrestleMania victory in years? Or will Nakamura reign supreme over the Hall of Famer and the legend and get a massive WrestleMania win? In my opinion, I'm going to say no, he will not, because I think this is Edge's finally his chance to get his foot back on the gas, if you will. Kind of been treading water since Contest No Mercy. So I think this is his last opportunity to really get back, really have everybody remember just who Edge is. Not Adam, not the Hall of Famer Adam, who Edge is. The Edge that we've been missing since he came back from his retirement at SummerSlam, ending night 2, putting Seth Rollins out of his boots, interrupting Ricochet and Rollins and that whole thing. So I think at WrestleMania we get the old Edge back, and I think at WrestleMania Edge gets the big W over Nakamura.
Well, we will see if he will be able to do those things. Very, very interesting things at play. But now it is time to reveal the big one of night 1.
It is the main event of WrestleMania London night 1. It is for Raw's WWE Championship. As the champion, the real rock and roller, the real shooter, the leader of the elite, the prince, the still reigning and defending WWE champion, Finn Balor, will defend his title against a man who has been almost unbeatable since coming to WWE not even a year ago. Maybe the most popular man in all of CTP. That's right. At WrestleMania Night 1, the main event, the dream match is happening. Because it is Finn Balor going one-on-one, defending his WWE Championship against Karrion Kross.
Ladies and gentlemen, the match that all of you have been wanting for over it's been 2 years. IRL time. But over a year in CTP time. It is finally happening. Match that I thought would never happen this season. There were doubts that Karrion Kross will even get an opportunity at Finn Balor's WWE Championship. And now he is here. The main event of WrestleMania London. It does not get bigger than this. As you've seen, Finn Balor still the WWE champion. Unforgiven, he survived. We'll talk about what that match was going to be in a few minutes' time. He survived at the Royal Rumble. He survived that Fastlane. Those were his scares. But now he's here at WrestleMania, London. And honestly, I thought about this for a while before we revealed this to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I think that Karrion Kross is gonna hit the climax. It's been his goal since he got here to dominate, to be at the top of Monday Night Raw, to be at the top of WWE. In order to be, and at this famous quote, to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And the man of this season has been Finn Balor. No doubt about that. He is one of the only men, besides Walter, to still have the WWE Championship, or their respective championship, around their waist. He's still the WWE Champion. And I believe that he will not walk out the WWE Champion at WrestleMania. He did this before. Over a year as WWE Champion at that WrestleMania in New Orleans, Finn Balor retained. This time, I feel like it's different. This time, he's facing a more dominant star, a more focused star, a star that has had his eyes on the prize since day one. I just don't see him surviving this time. He let the good times roll in New Orleans, but I feel that London won't be the same atmosphere. The demon's not coming out to play this time. It's the Prince. And I believe the Prince is not stronger than the demon. Karrion Kross will be your new WWE champion. He will be the final WWE champion in this end of an era of CTP WWE. That is my prediction.
Okay. I mean, you gotta think about this. The path of both of these men since the start of the season. Karrion Kross, of course, the big debut at Vengeance, maybe the biggest debut in CTP history, the best one in CTP history. Go after John Cena, squashing John Cena at Payback, as we all saw. Losing to Adam Cole in the King of the Ring tournament because of John Cena, that's by count out. Beating Cena inside Hell in a Cell, sometime to finally end their feud. Then going after Roman Reigns at Unforgiven, actually getting choked out in the guillotine by Roman Reigns because of the betrayal of Connor and Victor of Doomsday, siding with the returning, now the Blackheart, Leo Rush, making their own new versions of Doomsday. Kross, he was gone for months. We started around Winter is Coming time, started getting these weird White Rabbit-esque vignettes leading into Winter is Coming. After Leo Rush defeated John Cena in their match, Karrion Kross for the first time since Unforgiven emerging from the darkness and going right back after the men who betrayed him in Doomsday. At the Royal Rumble, taking out Doomsday, ending once and for all by beating Leo Rush, ending that feud, and following Finn Balor's victory at No Way Out, setting his sights on the Prince and the WWE Championship, the championship that has eluded him since all the way back at King of the Ring, in the King of the Ring tournament. Finn Balor, since obviously won the belt of Payback from Adam Cole, defeated Apollo Crews at King of the Ring, defeated Lashley and Owens at SummerSlam, forming the Elite with the Young Bucks. At Unforgiven, he retained the championship in a fatal 5-way against Jon Moxley, Adam Cole, Apollo Crews, and Drew McIntyre. When the fabulous referee of the match, the Raw GM, Chris Jericho, turned on everybody, aligning himself with Finn Balor and the Elite, helping Finn Balor retain the championship, pitting Jon Moxley, beating Johnny Gargano at Halloween Havoc in an Iron Man match, beating McIntyre, Cole, Gargano, and Bayley in an 8-person Survivor Series match. That's Survivor Series, obviously. Beating Reigns, Cesaro, and Styles at Winter's Coming in the Fatal 4-Way. Defeating Ciampa at Royal Rumble. That's a long story. We'll get to that later. And defeating Dragunov at No Way Out. Finn Balor has been almost unbeatable since payback. He has only taken this whole season, only taken one pinfall loss, and that was to Big E on Raw before Halloween Havoc. So I mean, yeah, Finn Balor has been almost unbeatable. Karrion Kross, the same thing. Can Finn Balor? I mean, basically, I mean, it's two. Basically, two forces colliding at each other into one. We'll get to that later. I know, Bailey. We'll get to that later.
Yes.
Colliding at each
Yes,
other,
Bailey.
and maybe the biggest WrestleMania main event ever, besides the main event night 2, of course. So, I mean, Karrion Kross has not been pinned since coming to WWE yet. So, will Finn Balor be the first man to pin Karrion Kross? Or will Karrion Kross finally rip the WWE Championship away from the cold, dead hands from Finn Balor, and walk out of WrestleMania the brand new WWE Champion? Or will the Elite reign supreme to end WrestleMania Night 1 and Finn Balor be the first man to ever pin Kross shoulders to the mat for the 1, 2, 3? I think yes. And that, my friends, is just too sweet.
Oh my God, you using these. Stop it, please. Please. Okay. At least I wish that Finn Balor was alone and didn't have them pricks with him. People that can't dress, besides AJ Styles. People that just gets on my nerves. I can't stand them. I really do. I cannot stand them. But I already had said my piece. Yes, and yes, Bailey. We'll talk about it in a few seconds. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is night 1 of WrestleMania London. And now that is your thumbnail right there. The end of an era, part 1. What a ride it is going to be. Let me know all of your predictions for night 1 of WrestleMania London season 7 in the comments section down below. If you're watching this after the stream, I would greatly appreciate if you guys comment your predictions. This year I'm doing it a little bit different. This year for WrestleMania, there will be, if you predict the most matches correct, you will be getting something special. Okay, I still don't know what that is yet, but there is a subscriber incentive for predicting WrestleMania London correctly. So that goes for night 1 and night 2. To enter, you must put your predictions for both. I will post more information in the community tab as we get closer to the the show. That's JW. Making me laugh. But stay tuned for that. But make sure you put your predictions in the comments section down below, or put them on Twitter or whatever you have me on. Just make sure you predict the show. And as always, we will be having a watch party in Discord. More information when the show comes out. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. Now it is time to talk about night 2, the final night of WrestleMania, the last WWE show. This is it. WrestleMania London night 2. Expert, lead the way.
Well, now we're on to night 2, and we're continuing with Monday Night Raw, and we're continuing with the massive matches on this card, on the Raw side, as this is, 100% this time, for real, a dream match, as again, this is all about respect. 2 of the biggest fan favorites on the whole roster. Another dream match, like I said. It is the franchise, the face of WWE, some might say, the face that runs the place, the 15-time world champion, because he never won a 16 belt in TTP. It is John Cena going one-on-one with the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre.
Oh, for the first time, I believe, one-on-one here in CTP, these two will collide. Man, oh man, oh man. John Cena, what a season that this guy has had. From Karrion Kross to that entire saga to now leading up to here, facing Drew McIntyre, who was NXT champion, by the way, folks. Held the championship for 2 months. And now is here at WrestleMania fighting John Cena. What a season McIntyre's had. Traded from NXT, went on a crazy run on Monday Night Raw. Now he's here against John Cena at WrestleMania London. Expert will give you guys more detail on how this came about. But I'm just gonna say this. I think that McIntyre, he just couldn't seem to win the big one this year. Same for John Cena. He just couldn't seem to win the big one. And now both of these men have an opportunity to win on a big stage. But I feel that Drew McIntyre is going to be a little bit more motivated here at WrestleMania London Night 2. I got McIntyre winning.
And of course, don't forget, Cole, two things. First of all, at WrestleMania Las Vegas last year, well, I guess 3 years ago if you want to count IRL time, Drew McIntyre beat Apollo Crews in the main event to win the World Heavyweight Championship, which was at the time on Monday Night Raw. Then went over to NXT, lost the belt and all that stuff, yada yada. But also don't forget, this show was in London, which is very close to where Drew McIntyre grew up, his home country of Scotland. So I mean, you guys think going into this one, John Cena is going to be public enemy number one? Is that could play in John Cena's, maybe mental state going into this match? Who knows? But
we'll see.
At SummerSlam, of course, Cena losing in the Hell in a Cell match, Karrion Kross, took about a month or 2 months off, saving Scarlett from Doomsday and Lio Rush on an episode of Raw, and he went right back after Doomsday. This time, obviously under the control of Lio Rush. He and his team defeated Doomsday in a 6-man tag at Survivor Series. Then, and as we said earlier with the Karrion Kross and Balor match, Cena losing at Winter's Coming 2, Lio Rush clean in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. Cena going in the Royal Rumble match, failing to win because of being eliminated by Drew McIntyre. And since then, Cena has had his sights set on McIntyre. Still a little respectful, but definitely teetering on towards the edge of getting into a full-blown rivalry here between these two. They've had a couple brawls on Raw leading up to this match, but still two fan favorites still have not gone to any three tricks trying to one up each other. So the question is, can McIntyre get his second massive WrestleMania win 2 years in a row, or can John Cena finally bounce back from having a pretty off season and get the win over the younger, faster, more agile Drew McIntyre? What could be Cena's last WrestleMania? You never know.
You never know, but I still think that Drew McIntyre is going to find a way to edge it out and make it 2 back-to-back massive WrestleMania wins. Obviously, it's not going to be the rise that he had last season with winning the Royal Rumble and winning the main event of WrestleMania, becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. But he is going to get the victory here tonight, in my opinion, and beat John Cena at WrestleMania London Night 2. And to answer your question, you're bad 38. No, the Royal Rumble, CTP Rumble is not happening. I had done an announcement about a week or two ago. If you guys want a bit more information of what we're doing here, that announcement will be in that video. Go watch that. We are just doing full steam ahead. WrestleMania London Night 1 and Night 2, NXT TakeOver London, and we are moving into the WWE Draft and Season 8. That's all of that is explained, and the reasoning, I can actually link that video for you real quick before we move on. I have it right here. About 2 weeks ago, this video happened. So you guys if anybody that's coming in or like new or has been longtime fans and are confused as to why I'm revealing the WrestleMania match card, go watch that video right there. That has everything you need to know as to what is the plan, direction that CTP is going into. With that being said, let's move on to our next match. What's up, Dynamite, by the way?
Well, okay, yeah. First off, just to elaborate, I mean, in the timeline after doing this, yes, it has. But has it been like a video yet? Royal Rumble, no.
No.
Anyway, moving on, going back over to SmackDown now for the next match. It is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, as the reigning defending champion, the co-leader of Banished, the SmackDown Women's Champion, the man, big time, Becky Lynch, will defend her Women's Championship against someone who has been,
is she seriously calling herself big time?
Of course. Welcome to the big time,
Oh
Cole. Big time Bex.
my
Big time WrestleMania. Anyway,
this is
she goes up
ridiculous.
against a woman who has been almost more dominant than ever since coming back months ago now. She is going up against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Oh boy. And no, I will not be calling her big time. It is Becky Lynch for your information. I'm not calling her the big time. Anyway, later match, this is going to be, folks, Asuka, one of the most accomplished women in CTP. She's a former two-time NXT Women's Champion, former two-time Raw Women's Champion, had that amazing undefeated streak, which was, fun fact, broken at WrestleMania in AT&T Stadium in Dallas by Ember Moon. That is when she lost the Raw Women's Championship. But to make it a grand slam, if Asuka wins here at WrestleMania London Night 2, she will be the first women to ever hold the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT Women's Championship in series history. So there's a lot of history that is on the line in this matchup. And I feel, as this is the end of an era, I feel that history will be made. A feat that may never be repeated in the new era of CTP. Asuka will hold the SmackDown Women's Championship for the first time ever and become Grand Slam when she defeats Becky Lynch. Sorry, Colita Banish, you're taking an L at WrestleMania. That's my
Oh
prediction.
my god, the disrespect to big time Bex is crazy.
I am
Anyway,
not
Cole.
calling her big time. No.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You know what? Okay, fine.
Wait,
How about this?
you-
When she wins, yes, you will. You'll call her big time Bex. Yes, you will.
I'm gonna say that. If she defeats Asuka
When
and prevents history from being made, I will call her the big time.
Thank you. Anyway, yes, the co-leader of Banish. Banish, if you haven't been catching up so far, I'm keeping up. Banish is as follows. We got the North, we've got Austin Theory, we got Becky Lynch, and we've got the other leader of Banish, who we'll get to a little later on. But anyway, big time Bex and the grand stage of them all, so close to her home country of Ireland, is gonna make Asuka tap out in the middle of that ring and will reign supreme at WrestleMania. Still, you're SmackDown Women's Champion, and you're gonna love it, Cole. You're gonna love it. I know you will.
I am not gonna love it because it will not happen because history will be made. Asuka is not going to prevent history from not being made. This is it. Asuka will do it. Grand Slam, first woman to ever do it, and probably won't ever be mimicated again. And I can't wait for it to happen. Becky Lynch is gonna be so sour because she's about to lose at the grandest stage of them all. Oh, by the way, fun fact, Becky Lynch is undefeated at WrestleMania.
Oh, that's great. You love to hear it. And look at the streak is gonna continue
It's not great.
on night 2. Yes, it will. Watch.
I will
Anyway,
see. We'll see.
anyway, moving on. Now going into the Cruiserweight Championship match. That is right. It's on WrestleMania as the champion, the man who defeated Daniel Bryan for the title, bringing it over to the red brand. Roderick Strong, the Messiah of the Backbreaker, will defend his title against his former friend, the Violent Artist, Kyle O'Reilly, as finally, after all these years, the Undisputed Era implodes on the showcase of the Immortals and is for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes, Roderick Strong defeating Daniel Bryan, and which was one of the most shocking moments of the season. Honestly unbelievable because I thought that Daniel Bryan was never going to lose that championship. It just seemed like his hands were going to be gripped on, at the time, the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Now regular Cruiserweight Championship. It's on Monday Night Raw. The Undisputed Era has imploded. The expert would explain to you exactly how they did. And it is going down here at WrestleMania London. We're not leaving anything to chance. Cruiserweight Championship is going to be represented strong here at the Showcase of the Immortals. And with the implosion comes anarchy, because I think that Kyle O'Reilly is about to become your new cruiserweight champion, putting down Roderick Strong. The first time ever in this series history, these two will go one on one with each other.
Well, Cole, let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you. So,
All right, I'm
obviously, as
listening.
you all know, at SummerSlam, Adam Cole is beaten by Big E, losing as his leadership role in his Peter era, and kicked out of the group. Kevin Owens replacing Adam Cole as the leader, seemingly on a dominant streak up until Unforgiven when they lost an 8-man tag to the New Day and Shinsuke Nakamura. The man getting pinned to that match was Bobby Fish. On the Raw after Unforgiven, Undisputed Era kicking out Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly forced to watch as his best friend, the man who basically mentored him in this business for years, was beaten down and taken out by Strong and Owens. This built up months, for months and months and months. Finally, at the Royal Rumble, Kyle O'Reilly, he could not stand no more. Finally, leaving Undisputed Era, the group finally, after all these years, imploding once and for all. Basically, now just KO and Roderick Strong as a duo. And now we're here tonight at WrestleMania Night 2, Strong versus O'Reilly, championship on the line. Roderick Strong has been basically unstoppable since winning the belt from Daniel Bryan, taking out anybody, whether it's from NXT, SmackDown, or Raw, beating every single one of them, putting all of them down. But now he faces up against his toughest challenge yet, maybe the man who knows him better than anybody else on this planet, in Kyle O'Reilly. So will that come into play at WrestleMania in this match? We will see. But you know what, Cole, I will agree with you. I believe that by the end of the night, we will be seeing a brand new Cruiserweight champion in Kyle O'Reilly.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. Look at you agreeing again. I got nothing to say. Moving on to the next match. I'm happy.
Ooh, well, moving on to the next one, going back over to SmackDown, it is a 6-man tag team match. This one goes way back to before SummerSlam, this story, as we have the Regal Coalition, William Regal, Nathan Frazier, and William Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, taking on the reunited British Strong Style, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. This is a big time match, Cole.
Yes, it is. I am so excited about this match. You guys are wondering, like, wait, wasn't the Regal Coalition they were all together? What happened? Well, don't worry. We'll explain it. Because it was Implosion City the last few months. And now, British Strong Style finally got their act together. They finally got it together. Thank goodness. And I believe what was going into the head of Tyler Bate those last few months, but he got it together towards the end. And now this massive 6-man tag team matchup is going down. And I think that the British Strong Style, we're in London, England strong. They're going to take down the Regal Coalition. That's my prediction.
Ooh, okay, Cole. I mean, this is months upon months, almost a year now of a back and forth with, especially Pete and Tyler Bate and William Regal. I mean, Bate seeing the, I guess you could say, quote unquote, light, leaving the Regal Coalition, leaving William Regal behind, coming back to Dunne in 7 as British Strong Style. They're back together. But I think, you know what? I think all this lovey-dovey stuff, this little reunion, isn't going to matter. Because at the end of the day, you have 3 of the most vicious, most brutal men on the planet as joined together as one. You got Dempsey, you got Frazier, and you got Regal. So I think at WrestleMania, 6 of these men, of course, from England. I think at WrestleMania, it will be the Regal Coalition who take out British Strong Style, get them out of here once and for all, and get the big win at WrestleMania.
Wow. That is a very interesting prediction right there. What do you guys think? A whole British invasion here in WrestleMania in London. Who do you guys got winning? Regal Coalition or British Strong Style? This is one of the first times in the series that William Regal has stepped foot in a CTP ring. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I can't wait for it. Let's move on to our next match.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a hard hitting affair is that one. But moving on to definitely more of a match that I guess you could say is more personal, maybe more. I guess you could say maybe quote unquote story based compared to the 6-man tag, as it is a big one. We've got the COO of this company, the former Raw general manager, the Game, the King of Kings, Triple H, going one on one with the Switchblade, Jay White. The stipulation being if Jay White wins, he is reinstated to his WWE contract. Obviously, it's booked before everything happened with the announcement. Anyway, let me break it down for you real quick. So we talked about earlier Jay White losing the title at Unforgiven to Rusev. The next month at Halloween Havoc, losing the briefcase to Big E. Finally losing that sent Jay White off the deep end. He betrayed Aiden English, betrayed Damian Priest, betrayed Mark Andrews, left everyone behind. He went so crazy, in fact, WWE was forced to fire Jay White from his contract. They released him, and for months and months, Jay White was gone from WWE, from wrestling altogether, until No Way Out, when it was a tag team match, the big main event of No Way Out. It was DX versus the Elite. The DX reunion for one night only against AJ Styles and a partner of his choosing from the Elite. It looked like DX had the match won until a man and a hood came out of the crowd attacking Triple H, giving the Elite the win. The man took off the hood. It was revealed to be the returning Jay White, who's still not under contract, by the way. But the Raw GM Chris Jericho, because of course, as we all know, he hates Triple H, has made the match official for WrestleMania. Jay versus Triple H. If Jay White wins, he gets his contract back. If Triple H wins, Jay White is gone. He's bye-bye forever. So what's going to happen here, Cole? Is Jay White going to win, or Triple H going to get the big dub at WrestleMania? What's going to go on?
Oh man, as much as I have been the least amount of a Jay White supporter this season, seeing his downfall has made me feel just a tad bad. I still loved it, of course, because losing the Intercontinental Championship, like I told you, didn't I say it for weeks, expert? I told you that Rusev was going to beat him, and then when he lost this Money in the Bank briefcase that he stole, that was just karma, because I told y'all, as the old folks say, what goes around always comes back around, and it never fails. I told y'all it was going to happen. But unfortunately, I just don't see Triple H putting down the switchblade for good. Jay White, he always finds a way to win the big ones. And this is one of the biggest matches of his career. He wants to come back. He wants to be here and be reinstated for season 8. He has to win. And I feel that I'm probably going to be agreeing with expert again. Jay White's going to find a way to win. Last season, he found a way to beat Walter, and it's still been the only man with Walter and CTP. And tonight, WrestleMania London, night 2, he's going to defeat the Game, Triple H, and be reinstated. That's my prediction.
Okay, Cole, interesting. I mean, okay, real quick. Let's be honest. Stipulation of the match doesn't really matter anymore because everything's going on. But shush, okay, just shush. Pretend it does. But yeah,
Yeah, pretend that
I'll agree
mind your
with you,
business.
Cole. For what, third time tonight? Shocking. Jay White will get the win over Triple H, and hopefully, so Triple H packing to the retirement home where he belongs, alongside Ric Flair and the rest of his Evolution buddies, where they should be anyway. But moving on, back over to SmackDown, and we're going back to some big meaty men slapping meat, as we've got the Celtic Warrior, the man who has banger after banger after banger. That's all you're getting from me. You get 3. Sheamus going one-on-one with the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I believe in a first time ever matchup.
Oh my God! For the first time ever, that is correct. Sheamus and Brock Lesnar has never fought in this series, and it's going down at WrestleMania London. Oh my God, I told you guys, man, this WrestleMania card is crazy. And this matchup is going to be even crazier. Brock Lesnar. Oh, Brock Lesnar. What a season you've had. From being in the main event of Backlash and not being successful to SummerSlam being embarrassed by Walter. Now he's here again. WrestleMania London. I wish Sheamus the best of luck because Brock Lesnar has been in a pissy mood the last few months. And we're going to see it all come together. All the anger, all the setbacks, all the not getting the job done. I feel bad for Sheamus. The beast is coming to conquer here in London. Brock Lesnar's winning this match.
Okay, interesting. Brock Lesnar definitely had a up and down season. Of course, having the big loss to Walter at SummerSlam, the clean loss to Walter at SummerSlam, and I mean he was gone for a few months on the SmackDown. I was about to say Raw on SmackDown after No Mercy. He returned with his new, very cowboy-esque look, going after someone who debuted at No Mercy. We'll get to him later, and setting his sights on him. Brock becoming maybe more vicious than he's ever been. Led to a trilogy of matches between the two, ending at the Royal Rumble in a Hell in a Cell match, which Brock lost. And now Lesnar has gone after the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, who also had a pretty up and down season so far. Looking to end it in a massive upset against the Beast. Of course, Lesnar at last year's WrestleMania losing to Batista in an ODQ match. Can Lesnar turn it around a year later to get a win over Sheamus, or will Sheamus knock Lesnar's lights out and get a massive upset win over the former world champion? I'm going to say, no, he will not. Because once again, Cole, we're going to agree. Back to back. I can't believe it. Brock Lesnar is going to eat, sleep, and conquer the Celtic Warrior at WrestleMania. At 1 F5 and done, I think Brock Lesnar gets the win on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania in London.
There you go. There you go. You pretty much said it all once again. Lester's gonna win. We'll talk about that trilogy of matches in more detail in just a few minutes' time because the guy he fought in that trilogy of matches and that you guys was seeing debuted at No Mercy is on this WrestleMania card as well. But let's move on, folks.
All right, going back over to Raw. I said we were talking about this earlier or later with the Karrion Kross Finn Balor match. For the Raw Women's Championship, we have member of the Elite and the current Women's Champion, Toni Storm, defending her title against the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, making her return in that match, Paige.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Paige, one of the most accomplished stars in CTV, former Raw Women's Champion, is looking to become a two-time Raw Women's Champion, facing one of the members of the Elite, probably, in my opinion, the best-looking one in the Elite, Toni Storm. It just seems so good. Paige, triumphant return, looking to get back her glory, and I feel like she's going to do it because unfortunately, not many people of the Elite will win here at WrestleMania London. Paige is going to be your new Raw Women's Champion. Now, experts going to explain to you how unfortunate it was when Toni Storm joined the Elite. Go ahead.
Unfortunate. Oh, brother. Anyway, go back to Unforgiven. Toni Storm defeating Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship in a fantastic match. But 2 weeks later, however, in Los Angeles at Raw Night of Champions, she would lose the championship to a returning Bayley, and she was then courted by the Elite. Eventually, they got inside her head and got her to turn on the fans, turn on Bayley, attack her, joining the Elite, and she would end up winning the Raw Women's Championship back from Bayley at Winter is Coming. It was dubbed the final fight between the two. Also, going back to Survivor Series, Storm, the Young Bucks from Balor defeated Bayley, McIntyre, Cole, and Gargano in an 8-person Survivor Series match. So yeah, since then Storm has been champion, doing whatever it takes to win, to retain her championship. But she finally met her match against the anti diva, I guess you could say. I guess maybe now the anti elite diva, Paige. It is England versus Australia, Cole. But you know what? I think it doesn't matter, because I think across both nights of WrestleMania, I think we're gonna get hashtag elite sweep. I think at the end of the night, it will be still Raw Women's Champion Toni Storm. And she's going to end Paige's little comeback happening before it even gets off the ground.
Ah, shush. Listen, she's the Women's Royal Rumble winner. She's had a rise. She's going to get back to glory. And I'm telling you now, the Elite will not sweep. The Elite will probably lose all of their matches at WrestleMania London, which I hope happens. And Paige is going to be your new Raw Women's Champion. Now let's move on to our next match.
Well, moving on back over to SmackDown, it is a tag team match. This is a big time mainstream match here, Cole, as it is the in-ring debut of I guess you could say, A-list celebrity, as it was the former World Heavyweight Champion, the King of WWE, Ricochet, teaming up with the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay, to take on the Hollywood megastar himself, of course, The Miz, and the debuting Logan Paul. This is a massive match, Cole. The in-ring debut of the Maverick, the founder and owner of the prestigious Crypto Zoo company, Logan Paul. This is going to be huge.
I cannot believe the SmackDown general manager allowed this to happen. Logan Paul is on... Oh, I can't even get the words out of my mouth. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the tag team matchup. I know Nick, NR23, he's jumping for joy somewhere because he loves him some Logan Paul. Everybody and the fans, y'all have asked, when is Logan Paul going to be in CTP? I didn't know. It was up to management, but apparently management has allowed it to happen. And The Miz, of all people, has allowed it to happen as well. And we're getting this. But I'm going to be short and sweet here. Ricochet and Ospreay are going to win this matchup. Next. Move. Come on, expert. Just explain how this...
Do not disrespect to Hollywood megastars like that, especially Logan Paul, okay? You have no idea what he's capable of inside that ring, all right? This is the second of our two big WrestleMania in-ring debuts, okay?
Give me a break. Are you seriously trying to defend this guy?
You never know what he could do inside that ring. You never know, Cole. See, look at Logan Paul, of course. He's a YouTuber. He's a TikToker. He's a crypto icon. He's a world-class boxer.
What the hell
took Floyd Money Mayweather all the way to the very end in an exhibition fight. Okay, all it takes is one right hand to the dome of either one of those little pipsqueak spot monkeys, Ricochet or Ospreay, and it's lights out. 1, 2, 3, call it. That's it. You gotta need an ambulance for both of them by the end of this match.
This is ridiculous. That's all I say.
See, Ricochet, you know what? The Miz. Okay, listen. The Miz is The Miz, okay? Doesn't matter. Logan Paul, at the end of the night, watch. By the end of the night, he can have hit both of his feet on both chests of Ricochet and Ospreay, knock him out with one shot right to the dome. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul dominates Ricochet and Ospreay, and Miz and Logan get the win.
That's your prediction?
Yes, I'm sticking with it.
Get the hell out of here, man. Oh my God. You're right, J&W, but you have to ask our SmackDown general manager, Mr. Rockstar Spud, Drake Maverick. You know, he's the one that made this matchup. And Drake, just when I was starting to get behind you and be on support of you, you put this on WrestleMania. Logan Paul. I can't believe this. But anyway, folks. The Hollywood A-listers and experts' eyes versus Ricochet and Will Ospreay at WrestleMania London. I said my piece. Ricochet and Will Ospreay will mop the floor with Miz and Logan Paul. Now, can we please get to our next match?
Now, hold on, wait, real quick. Where we go to the next one? What do you mean, quote unquote? Okay, Logan Paul has been in the movie alongside The Rock. I mean, sure, you got cut from the movie, but that doesn't matter. He's still in there with The Rock, okay? He had a couple scenes with him. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we're moving on. Next match, okay? Next match.
If you can't see it, it didn't happen. Shut up.
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. You know, fine. This one might like a little bit more. Because going back over to the Raw side of things, it is finally, after almost a year, probably actually over a year of building to this. It is a 3 stages of hell match. As finally this rivalry will conclude, it will explode at WrestleMania Night 2. As it is, I guess, sort of the leader of the Undisputed Era, the prize fighter, Kevin Owens, taking on his former best friend, now his bitter enemy, the man he turned his back on all the way back at Payback almost a year ago. The underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. It's happening finally after all these months.
It is finally happening after probably almost breaking his damn neck. Kevin Owens will face his former best friend, former tag team partner, Sami Zayn. 3 stages of hell. This is the first ever 3 stages of hell on the WrestleMania card here in CTP. And what better way to do it than with these two? What a year it has been for Kevin Owens. It's been destructive. He almost won the WWE Championship multiple times, but he just could not get the job done. And Sami Zayn spent all those months recovering. He spent all those months thinking about what Kevin Owens did to him after Payback, thinking about how Kevin Owens just ruined everything for his career. And now it's 3 stages of hell. Revenge is on the mind of Sami Zayn in the final battle between these 2 best friends, former best friends. And I got Sami Zayn pulling out the big one. He's going to defeat Kevin Owens here at WrestleMania.
Well, Cole, real quick for you, I give my prediction. I've heard that from the office of Monday Night Raw that the first fall of this match, it will be a normal one-on-one match. If Sami Zayn can obviously contain himself. Fall 2 will be a submission match, and if needed, Fall 3 will lock these 2 former best friends inside of Hell in a Cell. So, I mean, if it gets there, if it gets to the 3rd fall, this one could be a bloodbath. But, I mean, as we've seen all season long, who thrives in bloodbaths more than maybe anybody else, not named Jon Moxley, but Kevin Owens. So I think Kevin Owens, I think it's going to go down to 1-1 at the very end. I think inside the Hell in a Cell, though, Kevin Owens is going to get the job done and end Sami Zayn once and for all, one final package pile driver, and Kevin Owens is going to get the win in 3 stages of hell.
Oh man, no matter what, it is going to be an absolute war, and you guys just do not miss the premiere. That's all I say. Whatever you do, when that date comes out, y'all better be there. I mean it. Because if y'all don't be there, you're going to miss one of the most bloodiest, destructive wars we've seen in this series. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you think that's crazy, just wait until you get to the main event, which we're going to get into in just a few minutes' time. Let's move on to our next match.
Well, Cole, going from one personal rivalry to another, going from this match to another stipulation match, it is no holds barred on the SmackDown side of things, as this is hopefully finally the conclusion to the Mystery Attacker saga that we've gone since all the way back at SummerSlam. It will be the former general manager of SmackDown returning to singles action for one last time. It is Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, going up against the man who is behind all of this, the entire time, going all the way back to SummerSlam and the Money Bank ladder match against Juice Robinson. Coming over from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, the Viper, the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, maybe the most vicious he's ever been, Randy Orton. Michaels versus Orton, no holds barred.
It seems that Shawn Michaels has been he's been in no holds barred a lot. Last year, WrestleMania Las Vegas, he took on The Undertaker in a no holds barred matchup, and he was unsuccessful in that match. Now this year, taking on Viper, the Legend Killer himself, Randy Orton. Y'all are actually predicting something, as now we're going to tell you who were the mystery attackers. Expert's going to explain before I give my prediction. Go ahead on expert.
Well, this goes back to No Mercy when CM Punk, he issued the mystery attacker challenge to a fight, not a wrestling match, a fight in the middle of the ring at No Mercy. Mystery attacker accepted the challenge. He attacked CM Punk from behind, laid him out, but it was revealed to not be Randy Orton. It was revealed to be the man who CM Punk destroyed months prior on SmackDown. It was revealed to be Shane Thorne, which would lead to Game Over next month. It was Punk versus Thorne 1-on-1. We thought we'd figure it all out. It was him the whole time. But another mystery attacker would appear, helping Shane Thorne defeat CM Punk, and that was revealed to be the former Big Cass, now known as Big Bill Morrissey. And finally, the man behind it all, the man who orchestrated this entire saga from the very beginning, it was revealed to be none other than the man you see on screen right now. It was revealed to be Randy Orton, with those two by his side, causing chaos every week on SmackDown. AJ Styles was never a part of it whatsoever. It's all a red herring by Orton, Thorne, and Big Bill. And which leads to Survivor Series, a big 6-man tag team match. It was Punk, Juice Robinson, and mystery partner against Orton, Morrissey, and Thorne. Orton, Thorne, and Morrissey would end up winning that 6-man tag team match. And after it was real, there was actually no partner for Punk and Robinson. It was a handicap match, and they they basically clean swept Punk and Juice in the advantage they had in that match, of course, which would lead to the Royal Rumble, where it's Punk versus Orton once and for all to end this. So we thought Orton would lose to CM Punk in that match, thanks to a returning Shawn Michaels. And since then, Orton has had his sights locked on the man he thought he took out once and for all, the man he thought he retired, all the way back on SmackDown in his office by attacking him, Shawn Michaels. And now we're here at WrestleMania, no holds barred, probably Shawn Michaels' last ever match. At the show, someone say he made his own WrestleMania. Mr. WrestleMania rides on for one last time, looking to get revenge on the Viper.
Indeed. Randy Orton at SummerSlam, he was the one that attacked Juice Robinson. Randy Orton on that SmackDown when Shawn Michaels was seriously attacked, he was the one that did that mind game thing that made all us think it was AJ Styles. He did the Styles Clash. He was the one that took out Shawn Michaels, but he had help, and which expert just explained. And now I think to end it all, Michaels won't get his revenge. He will lose for the second year in a row at WrestleMania, as I think that Randy Orton will get the big one and defeat Shawn Michaels here. I really appreciate that, guys. It was an absolutely insane story over the past course of season 7. But there you go. Those were the people. That was the mystery attacker. Now you guys know who attacked Juice Robinson. I told y'all would have never seen it coming. Expert. Let's move on to our next matchup.
Well, it is time for at least the on this stream the co-main event, the penultimate match of WrestleMania, the penultimate match of all CTP WWE, I guess. It is for the Raw Tag Team Championships, as still the champions representing the Elite, the founders of the Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, will put their historic reign on the line against. Well, this is a big shock to basically everybody. Against Johnny Gargano, and come over from NXT to Raw, Tommaso Ciampa, the reunited DIY.
My God. And expert, can you really quick answer what J and W just said?
Uh,
He asked about the reasoning. Was the reasoning ever revealed from Randy Orton and company?
well, obviously, Chase Owens was obvious. What happened with CM Punk and all that squash match on SmackDown all those months ago.
Yeah,
Randy
Shane Thorne
Orton,
was
his whole reasoning behind this was, after what happened on Raw with Jay White and everything, I'm just getting his legs broken around the ring post. I want to just move on with Randy Orton. They forgot about Randy Orton. They left him in the dust. So Randy Orton, he decided, he came up with this whole scheme, come over to SmackDown, go after Punk and Juice and Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles and all that to get back everyone, especially Shawn Michaels, for forgetting about him, for leaving him in the dust in favor of these new guys like Juice Robinson.
Yes, and that's why he attacked Juice Robinson. The reason why he attacked Juice Robinson because everybody was talking about him, the rise of Juice Robinson. Arguably, people thought that he was going to win the Money in the Bank. And whenever he was attacked, now everybody was paying attention to why. Who would do that? A beloved person like Juice Robinson, who shouldn't have any enemies in the world. Well, it was Randy Orton. I forgot about him. After Jay White destroyed him, y'all threw him away like trash. Same thing y'all did with Shane Thorne. Threw him away like trash. And now they came back for retribution. They came back for revenge. And they was attacking all of your heroes on SmackDown to make sure you never forget about them ever again. That's why he did what he did. And now, championships though. Young Bucks, DIY. I'm gonna admit, I was wrong. I never thought that this reign of Raw Tag Team champions would have got to this point. But we're here. And I am going to say that DIY are finally going to do it. They are former NXT Tag Team champions. They are also former SmackDown Tag Team champions. Years ago, they won the Tag Team championships. Years. And now they're going to complete the trifecta. They're going to be Grand Slam. They're going to end the historic reign of the Young Bucks. Almost as dark as the Ascension. It will be DIY hosting up the Raw Tag Team Championships. Grand Slam, and they will hold them up one more time to end the era. That's my prediction.
Well, Cole, all right. First of all, hold up. Let me rewind here. Of course, the Young Bucks have held their titles all the way back at SummerSlam when they beat the Briscoes. Rest appreciate Dave Briscoe, by the way, of course, as I'm sure all you know now. But since then, the Young Bucks have done every dirty little trick in the book to keep the belts, defeating the Kings of Wrestling twice, the New Day. They've beaten basically every tag team you could think of on Raw. Until, possibly, now, Ciampa coming over from NXT to Raw at Winter is Coming, saving Gargano and Cesaro from Elite Beatdown. But, I mean, for a while, Gargano wouldn't even talk to Ciampa. You wouldn't even look at him after what happened with DIY all the way back when. At the Royal Rumble, Ciampa took on Finn Balor for the WWE Championship. He lost that match thanks to the Young Bucks. But on the Raw after, they had a rematch, this time out of a steel cage. And Finn Balor targeting Ciampa's formerly injured neck, dropping him with a Blade Sunday in the middle of the ring, taking Ciampa out with an injury for months, putting him out on a stretcher. And Gargano, since he couldn't go after Finn Balor anymore because he had too many chances and he lost all those chances at WWE Championship, decided to go after the Young Bucks instead. First, he came up with Cesaro at No Way Out to take on the Young Bucks for the titles, but he and Cesaro lost that match to the Young Bucks. And now, according to Gargano anyway, Ciampa is healed up, he's back, and looks like DIY are back for maybe one last ride of tag team, looking to beat the Young Bucks and finally end their dominant run as the Raw Tag Team Champions. But the question is Ciampa even gonna be at WrestleMania? Will he even show up? Is Gargano telling the truth here? Do we even know if that's the case? Will Ciampa show up at WrestleMania? That's the question. Is this true or is it not?
I mean, I bet you better hope he shows up, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If he doesn't show up, then unfortunately the Young Bucks are going to retain. Because I just don't see Johnny Gargano doing it by himself. I just can't. But I mean, if he does, then DIY is walking out with those titles. Sorry, man. You're going to be crying here in London. I might have to give you a few tissues after the bell rings, because it's not going to be a good night for you. Just saying.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, I think Johnny Failure over here is a big old liar. I think Ciampa is not cleared. He's not coming back. He won't be at WrestleMania. I think this could be a handicap match, and with ease, the Young Bucks will mop the floor with quote unquote Johnny Wrestling, and they will retain their Raw Tag Team titles to keep their historic run going into AEW or ROH, wherever they end up in the Season 8 draft. So I think, and still, the Raw Tag Team Champions by the end of the night, Ciampa, no Ciampa, whatever, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. And that's too sweet.
No, god damn it, it will not be like that. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, man, it won't. Sorry, Young Bucks fans. I know y'all love them too much, but they are not getting the job done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the final World Heavyweight Championship match in CTP WWE.
Yep, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. The end of an era officially. Expert, announced the last match, WrestleMania London.
Guaranteed. The main event of WrestleMania Night 2. The main event of WrestleMania as a whole. The final CTP WWE match. It is on the SmackDown side of things, and it is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is a triple threat match, as it is the co-winners of the Men's Royal Rumble match. The charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, taking on the reigning and defending World Heavyweight Champion, the leader, the co-leader of Banished, the Messiah, the Visionary, the Architect, Seth freaking Rollins.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is an end of an era. The final match in CTP WWE, the main event of WrestleMania. And what better way to go out? You heard expert right. There were co-winners of the Men's Royal Rumble match in Jeff Hardy and Cody Rhodes. Both men went out at the same time, and they both won the Royal Rumble, and they both chose the Messiah, Seth Rollins. Now we know why Jeff Hardy chose Seth Rollins after months of tormenting his family, destroying his own brother, who we still have not seen since. Jeff Hardy is looking to let Seth Rollins' world come to a crashing halt and become the World Heavyweight Champion one final time. And Cody Rhodes is trying to live up to his father's legacy, the American Nightmare, is trying to become the world heavyweight champion. Remember how we said that Brock Lesnar had 3 incredible matches when we were talking about him? Well, the guy that he fought was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who made his return to WWE at No Mercy. And now, here, the main event of WrestleMania. And I hate to burst you guys' bubble. There won't be an American victory. There won't be a charismatic Enigma rising up after months and months of torment. Unfortunately, the Messiah will find a way. And this is my bold prediction. He will retain the World Heavyweight Championship and walk into AEW or ROH or Rampage, your world champion. That is my prediction. Now, Expert will explain to you how Banish became a play. He will also explain to you Jeff Hardy's involvement in this match and also how Cody Rhodes got here. All that's about to be explained right now. Expert, taken away.
Well, Cole, I mean, as you all know, there's been a very long story going all the way back to lead up to King of the Ring with Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy. Anyway, obviously, towards the end of CTP WWE, I guess, run that you all saw, Jeff Hardy turning on the fans, going after Darby Allin. House of the North going after Darby Allin. Soon it would be revealed that Jeff and the North would have an alliance, and Seth Rollins would use that, obviously the past trauma of Jeff Hardy to lure Jeff as well as the North into this new group. Seth Rollins would come up short at No Mercy in the triple threat match with Edge and Ricochet, and he'd team up with Jeff to take on Darby Allin and Sting at Game Over. They would lose that match, like the North would lose to FTR for the tag titles on that same night. But they quickly bounced back as Seth Rollins at Armageddon in December would beat Ricochet to win the big gold belt. Obviously, in between that, Becky Lynch obviously coming into play. Seth Rollins' wife, of course, Becky Lynch, as co-leader of Banish, becoming the co-leader there. And Austin Theory will also be introduced as Seth Rollins' new, I guess, underling, his new protege, as his new disciple. And any opportunity, Theory, he would taunt Jeff, he would mock Jeff, whatever he could, basically trying to put him down at any opportunity, until finally, in the Royal Rumble match, Seth gave the orders to Jeff to get to the final 2 with Theory and eliminate himself to let Theory win the Royal Rumble. Jeff finally at the Royal Rumble, he said that was it. He finally had enough of Banished and their games. He eliminated Theory and would go on to the final 2 of the Royal Rumble against Cody Rhodes, who was bloodied and battered from earlier on in the night. Was having a match with Brock Lesnar, which he won. Both men would go over the top rope, and both men would end up winning the Royal Rumble match. It was a draw between Cody and Jeff, and both of them would end up picking the Messiah as their WrestleMania opponent. And now we're here tonight, the Night 2 main event, the final match of CTV WWE for the big gold belt. We've got Jeff Hardy, Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody Rhodes wants the belt for his father, the belt his father held all those years ago, his war against Ric Flair and WCW, NWA. And of course, we have in the middle the champion trying to do whatever it takes to keep hold of his belt in the main event of WrestleMania, the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. We got Hardy, Rhodes, Rollins. Who wins? Who else out of WrestleMania, CTP WWE as the world heavyweight champion?
Truly, no better way to end it with you guys' favorite story. You guys have seen the rise. You've seen the dissension of Seth Rollins all season long. And now seeing him with the World Heavyweight Championship puts a smile on some of you guys' face based on my emails and feedback you guys have been giving me the last few months. So now, what better way to end CTP WWE off with a high note with this amazing triple threat match? I guarantee you, this is your main event of WrestleMania. You will see this on the Sunday premiere whenever CTP WrestleMania London Night 2 goes down. And there is your thumbnail. Night 2, the official end of an era. There it is in all its glory. What a card it is. What a night it is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you all for joining us tonight on this stream for the WrestleMania London
Well,
review
actually,
of the
hold on,
entire card.
real quick. I almost forgot my prediction for the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. I think, and new World Heavyweight Champion, I'm going to go with, for his daddy, I'm going to go with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
You think Cody's going to do it?
I do. I think he's going to beat, I think actually going to pin Jeff Hardy to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think he's going to pin Seth Rollins.
All right.
I doubt it.
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing if your prediction will be correct, folks. Let me know all of your predictions. As I stated earlier, if you guys missed it, there is a predictions contest. More info will be revealed as we get closer to the show. But all you have to do in the comment section down below of this video, I know y'all can comment on this one. Place your predictions for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania London. Put all of your predictions in the comment section down below. The goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to get WrestleMania London out to you guys before WWE 2K23 releases. Speaking of 2K23, I have a podcast coming out on Train Talks this weekend talking about my thoughts on the game, cover star, all that stuff like that. Stay tuned for that. But that's our goal. Because I don't want to cause any confusion, because I guarantee you guys this is the last little bit of 2K19 you will see probably on the channel. At least for this series, because given how 2K19 is pretty much gone now, you can't download anything anymore. This is probably going to be a wrap for us. We're probably going to fully transition into WWE 2K22 with those mods occasionally, and WWE 2K23 after WrestleMania London. So the timeline is going to go like this. We just revealed the WrestleMania London card. In the coming days or week, depending on how everything goes, you will see the NXT TakeOver London card be revealed in a different way than what we did with the WrestleMania London card. You guys will understand whenever you see the premiere. After that, basically we're gonna just be continuing working on WrestleMania. Like I said, our goal is to get the entire show out before WWE 2K23. You will see NXT TakeOver London as always. TakeOver will be first, and then you will see WrestleMania London night 1 and night 2 go on like that. After that, expect a couple weeks of not really that much on the CTP series, because we will be prepping for season 8, getting the WWE draft show prepared, done, uploaded for you guys, and then we're going to roll right into season 8 like that. Clean slate. So everybody that's new, there won't be episode 100 and whatever. No, we're starting right at episode 1. That will be AEW Monday Night Dynamite. That will be the first episode of season 8. That is basically how we're going to roll. For titles wise, expect the draft to be called the CTP draft, just to avoid confusion. It will not be called the AEW draft. Nope. I'm just putting it out there, since we have AEW, Rampage, and ROH. This makes sense to just call it the CTP draft. That's what the draft's going to be called. It will have season 8 in the title, so you'll know it's a new season as well. That's just to not cause confusion. Okay. Since we don't have WWE anymore, and I don't want to call it just AEW draft. because ROH is in the series now. So I'm just gonna make it simple. We're gonna call it the CTP draft. That's what the name of the draft show is gonna be, just for no confusion. And then titles will be as follows. Season 8 will start in the title. Then we'll have the episode count will be restarted. Episode 1 and whatever show it is. Rampage will just be called Rampage. Well, AEW Rampage. But we'll make sure it's specified that it is Rampage in the title. Don't worry, we'll come up with something. Just to make sure everything is smooth and all that stuff like that. And as I stated before, everything that have happened in the last now 7 seasons will stick around. Everything is continuing on as follows, but it'll just be a clean slate with new shows. We will reference things that happened on this WrestleMania show. We will reference things from season 5, season 4, season 6, etc. on commentary. The history is still continuing on. It will just be brand new shows, brand new direction, of course, but I'm not erasing all of my history that I built up for the last 7 seasons. No. So stables will probably, if the stable is still intact at WrestleMania, that will carry over. Tag teams will carry over. And we'll explain what world champions and all that stuff and all that detail will be explained in the WWE. Not the CTP. I'm sorry, I keep saying WWE. The CTP draft. All of that will be explained about how the championship situation will work. We worked behind the scenes. We've gotten all of that pretty much done. All the details have been laid out. We've already got our draft finished too. We just have to make the show basically. So expect all the rules and all of that to be revealed whenever we get to the CTP draft show. So you'll see how everything will work out. But brand new titles are coming to the series, of course, with the new shows. The writing's going to be fun. And I'm just very, very excited to get to the new season. And I know I've seen y'all comments. I really wish this would have happened. I really wish I would have seen some stuff. We are working on something for you guys. As I stated in the announcement, there is some things that you guys will be able to see that you would have seen over the course of the season, just to fill in the gap while we wait for WrestleMania and NXT Takeover London to be produced, finished, and commentated. There will be some things that you will see, because there's a lot of unreleased things that we want to release because of the hard work and time and effort that went into that. So stay tuned for all of that to come out in the near future. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit my social medias up, which you guys can see in the bottom corner of your screen. You see all of them right there. Follow me on those. Hit me up. DM me. I'll try to answer questions as best as possible without spoiling anything, of course, for the shows. And stay tuned to our community tab. The community tab will be your number one source of information, going with production, going with announcements for the shows, when they're going to be done, dates, all of that will be revealed in the community tab. So please pay attention to the community tab. I have not been active on my community tab, obviously, because I wasn't feeling well the last 2 weeks, but now since I'm back to my normal self, I'll be more active in the community tab and obviously promoting and all of that fun stuff for WrestleMania. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I got. Expert, you got anything else that I missed that needs to be added before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I think you pretty much nailed it. Everything that's gonna be happening. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you got it. Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, and me and Expert, or Super Kick. Well, we haven't decided yet. We'll see you guys when the NXT Takeover London match card is revealed to the world. Let me know what y'all think of WrestleMania, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Thank y'all for the prayers. Thank y'all for the well wishes. I feel great. I've had a wonderful week this week. And I love seeing y'all reactions to the WrestleMania card. That's why I did it live, because I really want to see what y'all thought of the entire card. So I'm glad that y'all digged it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. I know it's late. Y'all have a great rest of your week and rest of your night. And we'll talk to you soon.